This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so in this class we'll say about the unit number 1, that is the introduction to the cloud computing. So before that we'll see about the agenda. Okay, what you're doing in these sessions. First we'll cover about the unit 1. Okay, and then we'll go for the unit number 3, and we'll go for the unit number 4, and at last we'll say about the unit number 5. Okay, because the unit number 2 has the larger part and these three are the lesser part in the syllabus, right? So also we'll see about the practical part of the things. Okay, we'll see how to demonstrate with the salesforce.com. Okay, we'll see about the practical things, how to use the Salesforce and how to work on a salesforce.com. And at last we'll see how to create a virtual machines using Oracle VM machines. Okay, so we'll have one demonstration. We'll use Windows operating system and we'll install the Oracle VM machine, and we'll again install for the Fedora. Okay, so in a Windows OS only we're using the Fedora machines. Okay, so we'll see how to do that one using the virtual machines. Okay, so this is about the scenario you can say it as. So we'll start with the unit number 1. Okay, that is about the introduction to the cloud computing. Okay, so I'll start. So first part I can say it is about the introduction. Now if I say the cloud, now the cloud matters the networks, or you can say it as the internet. But what about the network? If I say the more than one computers are connected with each other, okay, I can say it as a network. And for what purpose they are connecting with each other? To share the information between each of them. Okay, I can say that thing, I can call it as a network. And what about the internet? Internet, I can say it as the collection of networks. Okay, or can say it as a in a geographical area. If I have the networks and those networks are connected to each other, then I can say it as the internet. Okay, and the internet is spread over the global. Okay, now if I say the term cloud. Okay, now what is the cloud? Again, I have the definition for the cloud over here. So cloud is something which is present at remote location. Now what is the mean of the remote location? Remote location in the sense all over the world. Okay, I can call it as a remote location. So a cloud is present all over the world. I can call it as a cloud. But what exactly cloud contain? Okay, so if I say the cloud contents, cloud can contain your photos, music, or you can say it as a films. Okay, or you can have the some data over there, and you can store any number of data into the cloud. Okay, so this is the purpose of using the cloud, right? Now if I say a cloud computing, now what is the cloud computing exactly? Cloud computing refers to manipulating, configuring, and accessing the hardware and software resources, right? So if I say the things, the music is about the software, you can call it as. Okay, we cannot touch it but we can feel it. Okay, that is, I can say it as a software. Okay, then hardware parts, you can say it as, you can buy the CPU cycles. Okay, or you can buy the memory space from the cloud. Okay, that I can say it as a hardware part. Now what is the manipulating, configuring, and accessing? Manipulating sense, you can manipulate your things. It might be a hardware part or it might be a software part. And configuring, okay, you can set your configure. Okay, if you want, you can buy the mobile. Okay, first we'll go and check for the configuration of a mobile. Okay, that thing only, or when you are using the cloud, you are just going to configure the cloud only. Then I can access it. Okay, so these are the part of, you can say it as a cloud. Okay, wait a minute. Now so for an example, assume that here as an user, now user is wants to access the things from the cloud. Okay, now what are things he can access? He can access, he can manipulate, and he can configure. Okay, so he wants to access the service of a cloud. Now how he can access the things? By using the network, or you can say it as the internet. Okay, so this is the whole definition of the cloud computing. Now what is the cloud computing? Cloud is present at any remote locations, and it mainly refers to manipulating, configuring, and accessing the hardware and software resources. Okay, so that is the definition of a cloud computing. So this is the definition over here. And what are the next use of the cloud computing? It offers online data storage, infrastructure, and applications. Okay, again, it's giving the service as storage as a service, infrastructure as a service, and the application as a service, right? So you can say it as software as a service, hardware as a service, and infrastructure as a service. Okay, those are the offers of a cloud computing. Now, next we'll see. So this is an diagram for the cloud. So I have the many users over here. So these users I can call it as a thin clients, and these are the mobile users. Okay, and this is also a mobile users. So a users can access a storage part of a cloud or the application of a cloud, or they can go for the infrastructure of the cloud also. Okay, so they can manage anything from the cloud. Okay, that is the main use of the cloud computing. Now the next part comes as cloud component. Okay, so what are the cloud component? A cloud component is severally divided into three parts. The first part is about the clients, and the second one is about the data center and the distributed servers. So if I see it in by the diagrams, so client may be anything. It might be a thin clients, mobile clients, or a thick clients. Okay, and I have the distributed servers, and I have the data centers. Okay, so these are the data centers. Now how they are connected with each other? Through the internet. So that only they are saying that if you are using the cloud, you can access the things by using the network or the internet only. Okay, that is the main purpose of using the cloud computing. To access the cloud, I need to have the network, or I can have the internet. So we'll start, continue. So all the clients, distributed servers, and the data centers are connected through the internet. Okay, through the internet only they are accessing the information from the distributed server or the data centers. Now we'll see one by one what you mean by a client and all those things. So I can say client are the devices that are the end users. So we people can call it as ourselves as the end users. Okay, so in a client, sorry. So in client, they are the devices, you can say it as, or they are interact within the manage the information in the cloud. Okay, those people I can call it as the clients. Again, the client will be divided into three parts: the mobile users, the thin clients, and the thick clients. Okay, so first we'll say about the mobile clients. Now what are the mobile clients? For you are accessing the cloud through the mobile devices, I can call them as a client, sorry, mobile clients. In that you can have the BlackBerry mobiles, or you can have the smartphones or Windows mobile, anything. Okay, so those people who are accessing the cloud through the mobile devices, those people I can call it as the mobile clients. That is the definition of a mobile client. The next one is about the thin clients. Now who are the thin clients? There are the computers that do not have internal hard drives, but rather let the server does all the work, and the output will be displayed on the client server only, the thin client only. Okay, so these are the clients. Okay, or you can say it as these are the machines which do not have the internal hard drives. Okay, and only the server will does the all the work. The work of the thin clients is only displaying the messages, or you can say it as a displaying the information on the desktop. That is the work of the thin clients. And also a thin clients have some benefits. We'll say one by one. So the first benefit is about lower cost. Okay, now what about the lower cost? If I'm not buying any external hard disks, or you can say external material from the market, I'm using the cloud. Okay, so all the things I'm getting within a cloud only. So just I need to have the power supply and I have the monitor. Okay, so for that I'm saving my cost only. So by using the thin clients, you can save your money also. Then I have the security. Now what about the security? Your all data will be stored within a server only, or you can say it as a within a cloud only. Just you are accessing the data from the cloud. Okay, so that is the purpose of using a thin clients. Okay, it can also provide the security. Then I have the less power consumption. Okay, now what about the less power consumption? Here I am using only one desktop. Okay, and I am accessing the data from the cloud. Okay, so the power will be saver over there. Okay, so these are the some I can another one that has the less power, or you can set as a less noise. Now, what about the less noise? If you connected more than 10 PCs, okay, the sound of the CPU will be higher one. Or when you're using the thin clients, okay, so it is saying that only you have the desktop, no internal hard drives. So you have the less noise when you're using the thin clients. So these are the some uses of the, or you can say the benefits of the thin clients. The next thing is about the thick client. Now what are the thick clients? Those are the regular computers, okay, and how they are accessing the cloud by using the web browsers. Okay, for example, for the web browsers are you have the Firefox or Internet Explorer, okay, and those will be connected to the internet and they're accessing the content from the cloud. Okay, so these are the three different types of client which are present in a cloud component. I'll go for the next one, that is the data center. Now what is the data center? Here's the definition. The data center is a collection of servers. Okay, so I can say the collection of servers, I can call it as a data center, and which are housed within a room. Okay, it is nothing but if I go to the diagram. So yes, so the data center, here you have the data center. So the all the data servers will be stored within a one room. Okay, or you can say the group of servers, I can call it as a data center. Okay, so those will be local, or you can say stored within a room only. So those type of servers I can call it as the data centers. Now it could be a large room or a basement. Okay, you can store a server within a basement, or you can store within a large room. Okay, the collection of servers you can call it as a data center. Then distributed servers. Now what are the distributed servers? The servers don't all have to be hosted in the same location. In the sense they are dispatched in the geographical locations. Okay, but the user can feel that they are present one after the another. Okay, that is the main purpose of the distributed servers. So the difference between the data center and the distributed servers are, data center is present in a one single room, or you can say it as in a large room, but the distributed servers are located at a geographical areas. Okay, but they can feel the users that they are present one after the another. Okay, that is the difference between a data center and the distributed servers. Then next we'll see about the applications of a cloud. Okay, so the first application of a cloud is about the storage. Now what is the storage? I can store my data into the cloud. Okay, so where you're storing your data in a normal method, I'm storing my data into the hard drives. Okay, when you're buying the computer and all those things, okay, first you check for the RAM and then you check for the ROM. Okay, and when you're storing the data, it will be stored in the ROM only, right? So if you want to increase the ROM, you can go to the market and you can buy the additional storage space. Okay, that you can set as a hard drives. Okay, but when you're using the cloud, okay, the cloud is providing some amount of data to store a, sorry, some amount of space to store your data into the cloud. Okay, that is the main advantage of the cloud computing. Now the second thing is about the database. Now what is the database? Database are responsible for information which links within the information that helps make the data searchable. So what is the purpose of making the databases? It is nothing but we are organizing the data in a manner. Okay, that purpose we are using the database. Okay, now when you store your data into the cloud, okay, that will be stored in a manner. Okay, now what is the use of storing the data into a manner? It is easy for searching. Okay, and it has some advantages. So we'll see the advantages of a databases. The first one is improved availability. Okay, now what is the improved availability? If there is a fault in one database system, okay, it will not affect to the another database. Okay, that is the first advantage of a database. Then if I say the second one, improved performance. Okay, now what is the improved performance? If the systems are parallelized, which allows the load to be balanced among the servers. Okay, so the performance in sense while searching the content from the database. Okay, so database are parallelly organized. Okay, when the database are parallelly organized, the searching will be the easier one and it will be the faster one. That is the main meaning of the improved performance. The next, they have the price. Okay, so when you're using the database, the searching thing and all those things will be lesser one. Okay, that purpose you can reduce the cost also. Then it is the flexible one also. Now, what is the flexible? System can be changed and modified without harm to entire database. Okay, so as earlier discussed, improved availability in the sense, if one database has been damaged, it will not affect to the another one. So I need to change the damaged database. Okay, so to change that one, it will also support for the changing the database also. That I can call it as a flexibility. So if we change anything from the database, it will not affect to the other one also. Okay, that I can call it as a flexibility. Now the next one is about the synchronization. Now what is the synchronization? It is the combining the things. Okay, so as already given the example in a class, if you have the Google Photos and you have the Google Drives. Okay, when you click the photo in a mobile, and if a mobile is connected to Google Drive and Google Photos, okay, the one photo will be synchronized to the Google Drive also and the Google Photos also. In the sense, one thing you can access to the two different applications, one from the Google Drive and one from the Google Photos. Okay, that is the main use of the synchronization. The next one is video making and editing softwares. So if I say, so all of you know about this thing, video making and editing softwares. So I'll search over here, just video making and editing softwares. Okay, so these are the list of paid versions. Okay, you can say it as, so Adobe Premiere Pro I have, and I have the Final Cut Pro X, Adobe Premiere Elements, Adobe Premiere Rush. So these are the some video editing softwares you can have in online also. Okay, so these all things will be coming from the cloud only. Right now, the next application of a thing is the file converters. Now what are the file converters? I have the several types of file extension. I can have the doc as a doc as the file extension, and I have the pdf as the file extension. Okay, now I need to convert the doc to the pdf. Okay, again I have the some set of software which are available in a cloud. So I can say doc to pdf converter. Okay, so here I can have the software over here. So I can see the softwares. So this is the smallpdf.com. So it is converting the word to pdf. Again I have the which one, illopdf.com. It is also converting the word file to the pdf file. So these are some online application which are providing the services to the users to convert the file. So I can make the conversion between one format to the another format by using the online applications. The next one, sorry, next one is about the backup and recovery. Now what is the backup and recovery? when you're storing your data into the cloud, okay, whenever the system crashes or the content of the system will be deleted, you can easily backup and recover your data. Okay, that is the another application of the cloud computing. So these are the main applications of a cloud computing. First one is about the storage, second one is about the database, and third one is about the synchronization, video making and editing software, file converters, and I have the backup and recovery. And next we'll say about the internet and cloud. Before that, we'll say about the client server component. So in a client server component, again I have the two different types of components. The first one is about the server and second one is about the client. A client may be a thin client or it might be a light client. Okay, so the network map, okay, I can see it over here. So this is the diagram for the client server component. So I have the clients over here and I have the server over here and I have the internet at this point. Okay, now I have the router and I have the switch. Now these are the thin clients. Now what are the thin clients? Who doesn't have the hard drives? I can call them as a thin clients. Okay, and the server is the machine which has the all the data. Okay, so whenever a thin client is working or operating, the operation will be held on a server only. And if the client wants to access some data from the internet, it needs to go through the server only. First it will request to the internet and the data of the internet will be processed, and by using the switch and routers it will stored within a server only, and then it will access through the thin clients. So this is the, you can set as the infrastructure of a client server component. Okay, or for the better understand, I'll go for the another image. Okay, now you can see the image here. So here I have the different types of clients. It might be a, or it might be a mobile phones, or it might be a desktops. Okay, now what they are doing, they are accessing the information from the cloud. Okay, and where the information is stored, in the server only. Okay, now this thing I can call it as a client server architecture. The server is the one computer which stores, it has the huge data. And what are the clients? The clients are the computers who can request to the servers to access the data. Okay, so those are the clients. Now if I say the definition of the client, what they are saying, a networked information requester that queries database and or other information from the server. Okay, the work of the client is he needs to request to the server for the data, or you can say the some information. Okay, that is the work of a client. A client might be a mobile client, thin client, or a thick client. Then who is the server? A server is a high-powered computer that houses information for manipulating by the network clients. Okay, so the server is the powered computer in the sense it has the more power to store the information. And whenever a client requests to the data from the server, it will accept the request and send the response to the client. Okay, that is the work of the client and server. And if I give an example for this thing, if I open the browser, okay, just I will write so facebook.com. Okay, now a Facebook is the data center name, I can say it as. Okay, just I'm searching for the Facebook website. All right, so if I click the enter button, so again it will show the searches. And if I need to log in for the Facebook, just I need to click on the login. So this is, I can call it as a database of a Facebook. So as a user, I requested to the Facebook server to open a Facebook website. Okay, and the Facebook will showing the result over there. So I have sent the request and I get the response back. Okay, so this is about the client and server. As a client, I am searching for some data into the browser and I'm getting the things from the browser. Okay, so again, if I say if want search anything from the browser, okay, so if I say I have a tutorials point, okay, so I'm searching for the tutorial point. It is nothing but when you enter the things, Okay, so when you enter the things into the search bar, it is nothing but you're requesting to the server to search a tutorials point. Okay, and whenever the Google will get the tutorials point keyword, okay, it will display the all the messages which is present at a tutorial points. So if when you click on the link, okay, it will open the database of a tutorials point website. Okay, so you can access the things from here also. So that is the entering the URL, I can call it as a requesting, and getting the response, I can call it as a response from the server. Okay, so this happens within a client server architecture. So client is the requester and server is the response. Client will send the request to the server and server will respond to the client. Next one is about the intranet and cloud. So now what is the intranet? Intranet is nothing but, sorry, internet is nothing but implementation of internet technology within an organization rather than for external connection to the global internet. Okay, this thing I can call it as the internet. So by reading the definition, you cannot understand what is the intranet, right? So if I say a particular organization has implemented the internet services, okay, for their need, okay, so sorry, for their need only, okay, that type of internets we can call it as the intranets. This is nothing but implementation of internet technologies within an organization. I can call it as the intranets. Okay, it is not for the outer areas, it is only for the organization. Okay, for that type of networks I can call it as the internet. For example, you can say it as the ethernet, or you can say go for the LAN. Okay, so those are built within a building only, or you can say build within a organization only. The only the organizer person will go and access the ethernet or the LAN connections. Okay, those type of networks I can call it as the intranet. And what about the cloud? Cloud is globally over there. Okay, so you can access the cloud from anywhere in the world, but intranet only for the organization. Okay, so that are the difference between the intranet and the cloud. Intranet within a organization, cloud all over the world. Internet will stored within a one building, you can say it as, but it is present anywhere in the world. Again, it is only meant for one particular organization, but it is for the all. It is the cloud. Okay, now why cloud computing is matters. Okay, now why you to use the cloud computing? That is the main thing. So before that, I'll give an example. So I can say one organization is having the some set of data. Assume that here I have an organization. Okay, so this organization is maintaining some data. Okay, sorry. So the organization is maintaining some data. Okay, and this is maintaining the traditional manner. Okay, so this organization is maintaining the traditional way of storing the data, in the sense they are going to the market and buying some servers, and they are storing the data into the organization or a servers. Okay, and the another person is using the same organization. Okay, and his business statistics also the same thing, but he is using the cloud. He is using the traditional manner and he is using the cloud. Now what is the difference of these two things? Whenever the server will fill, or you can say the storage space has been full, he need to buy the material from the market. But what about the cloud user? He can just configure the things, okay, in a cloud, so no need to go for the market. Okay, so that are the difference between the traditional and the cloud. Okay, whenever using the traditional, you can go for the servers, okay, or you can buy the server from the market and you can store your data. But whenever you're using the cloud, you can directly subscribe to the vendors and you can use the storage space of the vendors. Okay, so these are the traditional and the cloud users differences. Now if I say the why cloud computing matters, first thing will be about the cost and benefit ratio. So if I say the cost and I have the benefit, okay, so everyone look like a cost is always lesser and the benefit should be the higher one. Okay, so if you are buying any mobile, just you'll see which is the lower cost mobile, and then you'll go for the configuration, right? So if you think that within a 10,000 you're getting the uh, 8 GB RAM and 128 GB ROM mobile, okay, then every people will go for the mobile. Okay, but whenever you can say within a 15,000, okay, 15,000, just I'm getting 2 GB of RAM and I can say 8 GB of ROM. Okay, so no one will go for this mobile because the cost is high and benefit is low. But whenever you are using a cloud, so the always the cost will be the low and benefit will be the higher one. Okay, so just we'll see the cost and benefit ratio and we'll go for the product. Okay, so whenever you are using the cloud, the always the cost limit will be the lower one and benefit will be the higher one. Okay, now the next thing is about the speed of delivery. Now when you subscribe to any one of the things, okay, so here I have given the example. Again I'll go for the PDF to Word note. Okay, so assume that the small PDF is an provider, okay, and just he has the button here as the sign in. Okay, when you sign into this website, okay, so I can deliver his material or the service, okay, as instant time. Okay, but when you're using the traditional one, the delivery time will be the delayed one. Okay, so the speed of delivery is nothing but whenever you're going to purchase anything from the cloud, it will be accessible within a second. Okay, that is the main purpose of the speed of delivery. The next thing is about how much capacity you will use, in the sense how much data will, how much storage or a data you will use, that much only you can go for the pay. Okay, how much you will use, you will pay for that only. Okay, that is the how much capacity you will use. Then the last one is about your organization's corporate and IT structure. So you can maintain your organization corporate and also the IT structure by using the infrastructure as a service. Okay, so these are some matters why you need to use the cloud computing. The first thing is about the cost and benefit ratio. The second thing is about the speed of delivery. The third thing is about the how much capacity you will use, and the last one is about the your organization's corporate and IT structure. Then I have the cloud scenarios. So in a cloud scenarios, again I have the three different types. The first one is about the compute cloud, the second one is about the cloud storage, and the next one is about the cloud applications. Okay, so we'll see one by one what is meant by a cloud compute cloud, what is the cloud storage, and what is the cloud application. So first we'll see about the compute cloud. Now if I have the definition of the compute cloud as compute cloud allow you to access application maintained on a vendor's equipment. Okay, so whatever I'm saying the examples, okay, this example I can say it as the example for the compute cloud. I'm using the ready-made application from the vendors and I am doing my work over there. Okay, the same thing it's saying that compute compute cloud allows you to access application maintained on a vendor's equipment. In the sense, the vendor has already designed the page and he has hosted the page into the web, or you can say it as a server. Okay, and as a user, what I'm doing, just I am accessing the service of this page, okay, as a user. Okay, so this is, I can call it as a compute cloud. Okay, already maintained pages I am accessing through the internet. Okay, so this thing I can call it as a compute cloud. Next thing is about the cloud storage. Now what is the cloud storage? So here is a definition. Cloud storage allows you to store your data on a vendor's equipment. Okay, so the best example for this thing is your Google Drive. Okay, so as a Google is a vendor, okay, and is giving the service as a Google Drive. And what are people doing over there? You're just storing your data into the Google Drive. Okay, that is the cloud storage. That is nothing but cloud storage allows you to store your data. Okay, where you're storing your data into the vendor's equipment. Okay, that is the one of the scenario of a cloud storage, sorry, cloud computing. Next one is about the cloud application. Now what is the cloud application? Sorry, cloud application delivers applications that depend on the infrastructure of the internet itself. In the sense, so here what I'm doing, I'm just accessing the application, right? So if I say dot assume that it is one of the application which is built by the vendor. Okay, so the page is loading. Okay, now this is the one of the page which is developed by the vendor. Okay, now what the cloud application is saying, that cloud applications deliver application that depends on the infrastructure of the internet, right? So when you have the infrastructure and you are accessing the application as related to your infrastructure, okay, you can also get it from the cloud. Okay, so before you can search for a thing as Google Sites. Okay, so here it is an application where you can create your own websites. Okay, so if you want to develop any front end design, okay, you can go for the Google Sites. It is nothing but it is providing some applications to develop your websites. Okay, so this is an example for, you can say it as a Google Cloud applications. Okay, now the next thing is about the benefits of a cloud computing. So here I have the benefits of a cloud computing as a scalability. Now what is the scalability? Rather than having to buy, install and configure new equipment, you can buy additional CPU cycle or storage from the third party. In the sense, when you're using the cloud computing, okay, if you have the, just assume that I have only a 30 GB of memory within a cloud. Okay, if I need to access or if I need to increase the this storage capacity, just I need to buy additional storage capacity from the cloud storage. I don't need to go to the market and buy new equipment. Okay, just I need to subscribe to the next level. I can say upgrading myself in the cloud. Okay, I can get the additional memories over there. Okay, that is, I can call it as a scalability. Now the next thing is about the simplicity. Now what is the simplicity? The cloud solution make it possible to get your application started immediately. In the sense, when you subscribe to the any website, okay, you will get the application ready only. Okay, that is, and using the cloud is also a simple one. Next, knowledgeable vendors. In the sense, whenever you are using the cloud computing, you will get always you are getting the updated versions of software. Okay, so those people sorry, those things I can call it as the knowledgeable vendors. In the sense, always the vendor will providing the updated version applications in a cloud. Next, more internal resources. Okay, what is the more internal resources? When you're using the, or I can say you have the database, okay, in a traditional manner, okay, and you have some data into the database. Okay, when you want to shift this data into the another database, you need to have the manpower. Okay, you need to have the more manpower. But when you're using the cloud, just need to clone it. Okay, when you're using the term clone, the two database will be cloned, or you can say combine each other. Okay, without using the any man forces. Okay, that thing I call it as the more internal resources. So by shifting the data from one database to another database is easier when I'm using the cloud computing. Next thing is about the security. So it is obviously saying that your all data will be stored within a cloud only. Okay, so you can get the backup also, so your data will be secured over there. Only authorized people can access your data from the cloud. Okay, so that is the main benefit of a cloud also. So in the benefit of a cloud, I have the scalability, simplicity, knowledgeable vendors, more internal resources, and the security. Okay, so in the next class we'll go for the limitations of a cloud. Okay, and I hope this in the next class only we'll finish up with the first unit. Okay, if you have any doubts, you can go for the chat window and you can ask the questions over there. Does anyone have the doubt? Just post your question in the chat box. So I'm enabling the
No, sir.
start. Is there any doubts about this thing? So study about in this class we have studied about the introduction. Okay, what is the cloud and what are the content of a cloud? Just as a revision only. Okay, and after that we've seen about the definition of the cloud, and we've seen about the cloud components. What are the cloud components? We have the three different types of cloud components: clients, the data centers, and the distributed servers. And we'll see different types of clients. Okay, mobile clients, thin clients, and thick clients. We've seen what you mean by a mobile client, what you mean by a thin client, and what you mean by a thick client. And after that, we've seen about what is the data center and how it will work, and what is the distributed servers. And we've seen about the applications. The applications of cloud are storage, database, synchronization, video making and editing softwares, file converters, and backup and recovery things. Then we've seen about the intranet and the cloud, the difference between these two things, and we'll also seen about the client server component. Okay, and we'll discuss about this diagram, and we've seen why cloud computing is matter. So for the cost benefit ratio, the cloud computing is a good one, and speed of delivery, again we'll go for the cloud computing. And how much capacity will you use, you will pay for that thing only. It is the how much capacity will you use. Then your organization, corporate and IT structure, you can maintain your IT structure within a cloud only. Then we'll see about the scenarios of the cloud. So we have main three scenarios. The first one is about the cloud sorry, compute cloud. Then we'll see about cloud storage, and we'll see about the cloud applications. Then we'll see the definition of the each thing, the compute clouds. So what is the use of compute cloud and all those things, and cloud storage, how it will work, and cloud application. And then we'll see the benefits of the clouds. Okay, here is things. So the benefits, the first benefit is about the scalability and simplicity, knowledgeable vendors, more internal resources, and security. So the in this class we studied about this thing. So if you have any doubts, you can chat over here, or you can unmute yourself and ask the question. Okay, I think there is no questions. Thank you for attending the class. We'll meet in the next class. Thank you all of you.